Now at 11, new allegations against the TikTok singer being charged in the murder of a Lake Elsinore teen. David Burke went in front of a judge this morning for the second time in this high-profile case, and new evidence was released. NBC4's Brittany Hope is live at the criminal court building in downtown LA. Brittany, you were inside that hearing. Can you break down what happened this morning?
Hi, Annabelle. So first I want to start with this. Absolutely. The biggest headline came from prosecutors. They say that there was a ton of child porn on David's iPhone. That was the first time that we've heard of that publicly, and you could see the reaction in the courtroom when prosecutors said that. I want to bring in legal analyst Royal Oakes. Royal, you were sitting in there with me. How does this new allegation impact the case ahead? I mean, he's already facing the most serious of charges.
Well, of course, if they have evidence that he had child porn, everybody's going to say he was a terrible guy. The question is, what specific evidence does the DA have to link him to the murder? We don't know yet because they haven't revealed it. Could be DNA. But on May 1, there's going to be a preliminary hearing where there'll be a mini trial, and over the course of a week, the prosecution will lay out their case.
And before that, another kind of the second biggest headline was simply how much data, how much evidence there is, and issues with processing all of that. They say that there's 40 terabytes of evidence that they need to download. But my first thought is we're in the digital age. Almost every case, there must be phone records, all of this involved. Why do you think it's such an issue this time?
I think it's because there's a tsunami of evidence, apparently digital, and also witness statements, subpoenas, grand jury testimony has to be unsealed, plus privileged information has to be called out. So it's a huge job to get ready for the prelim.
Next to us on camera, there's court sketches from inside the courtroom today. We were not allowed to bring our TV news camera inside, but you're fighting for us to be able to do that. Tell us about the conversation you had today with the judge.
Yeah, I represent Radio and TV News Association. We always go in, try to get cameras in the courtroom, and the problem is the judge didn't give an explanation for why she wouldn't let us have the camera roll. And I tried to make the point that, you know, when you drink OJ, you don't get a hangover. But we have had a 31-year O.J. Simpson murder trial hangover when it comes to getting cameras in the courtroom. The people who pay for this building and everybody's salaries inside the court, they're entitled to see their justice system at work. So hopefully when it comes to the preliminary hearing and other high-profile cases like Reiner, the judges will say, yeah, there's no real downside. Let the cameras roll. Let people see the justice system.
Thank you for advocating for us, Royal. Thank you so much.
You bet.
On that, let's talk a little bit more about the preliminary hearing. So as you heard Royal say, May 1st is when it's scheduled, but everyone's going to come together next week, come to court and say, hey, do we have enough evidence to even do this preliminary hearing on May 1st? So a lot is still up in the air. But again, biggest allegation now is allegedly a ton of child porn on David's phone. We're live in downtown Brittany Hope, NBC4 News.
Yeah, a developing story there, Brittany. Thank you for that. And our thanks to Royal, of course. Our team is staying on top of this case, both on air and online. Right now on our website, NBCLA.com, we have a full timeline leading from Celeste's disappearance to David's recent arrest.